people cultivate grapes on the banks of the Dniester since the 7th century before Christ. It took them ages to find the best places where the nature gives birth to a special taste of white and red wines and forms a basis for a delicate bouquet of refined vins. On top of that, hundreds of years were spent to perfect the arts of winemaking. The 5 secrets of quality of Kvint. This is where Kvint is born. The heavy bunches of grapes ripen in the terroirs of Kamenka, Rashkov and Doibany, well protected from the winds by the Poyani and Kalagur woods. From May to November, they absorb a threefold solar energy. During the daytime, directly from the sun and its beams, reflected from the surrounding rivers and lakes, while in the night, the berries take heat from the warm slopes of chalk hills. Pinot Noir, with a hint of violets and aroma. Sauvignon, with the cassis nuances. Aligoté, featuring flavors of freshly mowed grass and barberry. The tones, which are a distinctive feature of Kvint. Chardonnay, Riesling, Solaris, Cacitelli. From 18 varieties of grapes, the winemakers of Kvint make by their own original recipes more than 20 names of wine and about 30 names of divine. Totally, we have 2,000 hectares of vineyards on different kinds of soil, such as sandy soils with high content of calcium, those rich in limestone, southern black soil. Such diversity allows us to obtain wines and divins with unique organoleptic properties. The first secret of Kvint. We have 2,000 hectares of own vineyards. By mid-August, the vines bow down under the weight of large and juicy grapes. The berries accumulate the maximal amounts of useful elements, minerals, bioactive substances, amino acids, sugars, and vitamins. The sunburned skins of grapes contain a lot of aromatic compounds. The recent research has shown that apart from the known useful compounds contained in the berries themselves, there are also valuable bioactive substances, so-called flavonoid polyphenols, found in seeds, stems, and, what's more important, in skins of the grapes. Due to these substances, the red wines are believed to have a curative effect. One of such bioflavonoids is procyanidin, a polymer with a strong antioxidant capacity, which protects human body from cardiovascular diseases and cancer. It also helps with eliminating toxins from a body. Judging by the sugar content, one can determine the ripeness of grapes and schedule the right timing for the harvesting operations. From that moment, every second counts. All the useful properties of grapes must be preserved, and the grapes should be delivered to the processing facility as fresh as possible. Thousands of hectares yielding thousands of tons of grapes. The most valuable varieties of grapes are still handpicked like many centuries ago. These grapes will be used for fine vintage wines. Except for manual picking, all other production steps are performed by automatic machines. We pick up each variety of grapes separately. The Doibany vineyards alone give 24,000 tons of grapes. This particular press can process 200 tons per shift. The grapes juice, or must, is squeezed with a flow rate 20 tons per hour. To better imagine the scale of production, let's have a look at the next cellar. Just one of these tanks, as high as a 5-story building, can hold 60,000 liters of grape juice. There are 48 such tanks in this cellar. And up-to-date equipment enables one to strictly control every tiny detail in the behavior of fermenting juice through the entire process of its transformation into wine. For instance, an operator can decrease the fermentation temperature with a decimal accuracy in order to select from the grape aroma only the purest, fruity, and floral notes. The fundamentals of winemaking, the basics of composing a bouquet, duration of all chemical processes remain unchanged. We don't try to speed up the natural course of events. You cannot deceive nature, nor surpass it. The second secret of Kvint. We preserve the best qualities of grapes. The art of winemaking does not tolerate vanity at all times. Thus, the classic divin duly begins with a long process of distillation. The wine is distilled in alembic, hot stills, in 2 stages. At first stage, you obtain the basic raw spirit, the so-called bruit, with alcoholic strength 29–32%. After the second stage, known as la bonne chauffée, or good hidden, the resultant product contains 68% of alcohol. The full cycle takes almost whole day. Kvint distillers strictly follow the traditional French cognac production method, enable them to preserve all essential oils in alcohol and to achieve the right concentration of them. Only after the first stage distillation, the volume of liquid is reduced 9 times. A similar process of volume reduction continues, though very slowly, when you keep the product in oak barrels. The spirits become more concentrated because some part of them evaporates through the pores of the wood. Given the total volume of 1 million decaliters of pure alcohol kept only in the Tiraspol cellars of Kvint, we can estimate that the annual angel share makes around 20,000 liters. What is created quickly doesn't last long. A good aging is a basis for a long aftertaste of a divin. A long aftertaste is a sign of good quality. The shortest aging time of Kvint spirits is 3 years. The oldest spirit was put to aging back in 1951. The best wood to keep divin in is Limousin oak. From the end of the last century, Kvint prefers to buy the barrels made from 150-year-old oaks grown in Limousin region in central France. Cellars, storerooms, multitude of grape varieties, light, humidity, wood. Any of these components contribute to the formation of taste accents and aromatic nuances. Whether it's a good vintage year or, on the contrary, a bad year with a drought or heavy rains, when we make a blend, we can always work with a wide range of aromatic and taste nuances. In this way, from year to year, we can guarantee steadiness and permanency of taste and aroma of every beverage produced by Kvint. The third secret of Kvint. We always have 1 million decaliters of aging wine-distilled spirits at stock. It is the art of blending that turns spirits into a noble beverage. The bouquets of such divins as Victoria, Jubilee, Suvorov, and Prince Wittgenstein have the richest composition. To compose such a blend, we have to assemble up to 30 different spirits of old age from Kvint cellars. The bouquet of divine is composed of aromas brought in by particular spirits of different age. Take, for instance, a 5-year-old divine. Its mellow taste and floral notes in aroma are due to the spirits of various ages. Its recipe includes not only 5-year-old spirit, but also 10, 12, and 15-year-old spirits. Another example, a 15-year-old divine Tiraspol. Here you can feel notes which are characteristic of spirits aged for 60 years. Despite the abundant choice, every new season, the masters recreate a new lot of each drink. Since every vintage is different, the spirits distilled from the same kind of wine, from the same vineyard, will differ as well. We are not limited in our choice. The main thing is to achieve the taste and aroma our customer likes. For more than 100 years, not a single claim for quality was presented to Kvint. We guarantee that our product is absolutely natural and safe for consumption. For that purpose, our laboratory has all state-of-the-art analytical instruments and also is accredited for conformity to international standard ISO 17025. Many production operations were modernized in order to heighten the quality of beverages and improve their aesthetic aspect. For instance, the process of cold treatment of divine. The wines also undergo a similar procedure. Before bottling the wine, we decrease its temperature down to -5 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, all colloids and other unwanted suspended particles settle down as a sediment. After such cold treatment, we pass the wine through the microfiltration system. The retention rate of the finest filter is 0.45 micron. After filtration, the wine goes to a bottle perfectly clean. In the 19th century, the wine from Rashkov terroir was exported to France and traded for Marseille roof tiles. The wine merchants from St. Petersburg were chasing after the wines from the cellars of Prince Wittgenstein from this southern slope of Kamenka, although the price was very high. 10 liters of that wine were worth a decent grand piano. The beverages of Kvint are still popular in many countries of the world. The divines alone were awarded with 3 Super Grand Prix and 21 Grand Prix trophies, and decorated with over 200 gold and silver medals at various international contests and tasting competitions. The fourth secret of Kvint: we don't save on quality. In the old times, one could judge about the level of development of a civilization by the quality of their wines. Nowadays, in the era of science and technology, we use other criteria for evaluation. The very existence of totally natural drink, its availability and culture of consumption. Storing, serving drinks at right temperatures to better enjoy the bouquet. Pairing with matching food, the art of curing with wine, therapy, and finding a hedonistic pleasure in wine. In vino veritas, there is a deep thought in this saying of the ancients. The point of the matter is not the expertise of a winemaker, but rather in self-cognition, in knowledge of your own strengths and limits, in your ability to retain dignity in any situation, to behave expediently anytime, any place, to be joyful and unobtrusive, to display self-possession and leave good memory of you, or as winemakers say, a long and pleasant aftertaste. Every human possesses these qualities by nature. We only help him or her preserve them. Kvint creates products of fine and exquisite taste. These are highly commendable beverages, and we are proud of their acme quality. The fifth secret of Kvint. We keep up traditions of a long-lasting aftertaste.